You are at a wedding, and the caterer just dropped a tray of shrimp in front of the mother of the bride, and everyone is staring to see what happens next. This is the moment that separates the amateurs from the pros, because anyone can smile when things go right, but only real professionals know how to smile when things go sideways. Here's the truth nobody tells you. About event vendors, they get yelled at more than referees at a middle school soccer game. A photographer shows up on time, sets up perfectly, and still gets told the lighting is wrong because somebody's cousin watched a video once and now thinks they are Steven Spielberg. So why do some vendors handle criticism like a champ while others crumble like a stale breadstick? It usually comes down to one skill, and that skill is called emotional regulation, which is just a fancy way of saying you do not scream back at a bridezilla in front of 300 witnesses. Think about it like a thermostat instead of a thermometer. A thermometer just reacts to whatever temperature is in the room, hot thermometer. A thermostat sets the temperature it wants and holds steady no matter what chaos is happening around it, and good vendors train themselves to be thermostats, not thermometers. Let us talk mechanics for a second, because there is actual strategy behind staying calm. Most professional vendors use something like the pause and paraphrase trick, where you repeat the complaint back calmly before responding, which buys your brain about 3 seconds to stop it from saying something you will regret. Here's a fun historical nugget for you. Event planning as an actual profession did not really take off until around 1955, when hotels started hiring dedicated staff just to manage weddings and conferences. Before that, it was mostly winging it, which honestly explains a lot about old family stories involving disastrous receptions. Now here's where the why gets interesting. Negative feedback during a live event is not really about the shrimp or the lighting or the playlist. It is almost always about stress, because when people are anxious about being watched or judged, they take it out on whoever is closest holding a clipboard. This is why professional vendors are trained to separate the complaint from the customer's emotional state. Kind of like a doctor who does not take it personally when a scared patient snaps at them. You are not solving an insult, you are solving a fire, and firefighters do not stop to argue with the flames. A lot of people assume the customer is always right means you just agree with everything. But that is a myth almost as old as the tooth fairy. What professionalism actually means is validating the feeling first. I hear you, this is frustrating. And then fixing the actual problem fast, because feelings need acknowledgement, but events need speed. There is also a community side to this that people forget. Vendors talk to each other constantly, in group chats, at industry meetups, on forums that sound boring but are basically gossip columns for florists and DJs. If a planner treats staff badly during a meltdown, that story spreads faster than a rumor in a high school cafeteria, and it can quietly cost future bookings. Doubt creeps in here too, because some newer vendors think staying calm means being a pushover, letting people walk all over them for the sake of the brand. But real confidence looks like calm boundaries, saying something like, "We can absolutely fix that, and here's what we cannot do tonight," which is honest, respectful, and still professional. Let us bust a common misunderstanding while we are here. People think complaints during an event mean the vendor failed. Sometimes it just means expectations were never set clearly in the beginning, which is a planning issue, not a personality issue. This is why the best vendors treat every event like a fire drill they hope never happens. They walk in with a plan for complaints before a single guest even arrives. Preparation is not about expecting disaster. It is about not being shocked when normal human chaos shows up wearing a tuxedo. At the end of the day, professionalism during a crisis is not about having zero emotions, it is about choosing which emotion gets to drive. Calm, clear, and quick beats loud, defensive, and slow every single time. And that quiet skill is often the real reason some vendors get hired again and again, while others quietly disappear from the industry. So next time you see a vendor smile through chaos, know that it is not fake, it is trained, it is smart, and honestly, it is kind of a superpower. You want to learn more about how to find vendors who actually handle pressure like professionals? Go check out our links in the description.